This was it. The end. The price for our species' hubris. The skies were permanently covered in clouds now. The land was burning, and the last puddle of murky water had boiled 3 days ago. There was nothing more we could do. My species would die in the next few days. Who are we? We were the Kenosians. We had enjoyed a place in the galactic community for over 40 years. We had followed the rules of the GC. We had come when called upon, and now, when it was our turn to need help, we were left to die alone. Already billions had died. Scorching heat, hunger, and war had taken our mighty civilization and torn it down. We had called the GC for help. We had pleaded with them and begged. We had had no answer. The galactic community had remained still. Some had tried to argue that we were a fledgling race who had just made a mistake. Some had given their sympathies. Some had even promised to help, but most, the vast majority in fact, had been indifferent. One human ambassador had even tried to argue that we, and here I quote, had tried to mine your world's core and, in doing so, had destabilized its axis. What did you think was going to happen? What did happen was our world's orbit destabilized and slowly started to make its slow, inexorable journey to the core of our sun. All we could do now was wait until our world was consumed in flames. The few 100 million who still survived the first natural catastrophes that had razed our cities had tried to reach the stars by any means, but with a world that was increasingly quickly breaking apart, few made it, and those who did found their orbits filled with asteroids. Huge chunks of our world's mantle thrown in the skies from volcanic eruptions. Too many to avoid. Too many to allow the time to open a hyperspace tunnel. Our world was finished. Our species was finished. Our world fell to chaos. People lost all control and responded to their basest of instincts. Looting, murder, rape, but I was a soldier and had been given orders. My duty was to protect the people. As futile as it seemed, we were ordered to guard the last surviving members of my people. My commander had managed to hold on to his dignity. Our squad was to hold the line to the last moment. We would protect the people. My job was to monitor communications and broadcast our plea to any who would listen. So I sat there, radios and transmitters all around me, repeating the same message over and over again. This is First Lance, Caltech of the Kenosian people, on the northern continent of Suja. We beg any who hear this message for help. Our world is collapsing. We have managed to flee into underground bunkers, but our world is collapsing into its star. Please, help us. Message repeats. This is... I knew we were dead. We were all dead. We all knew it. What was the point in sent out messages? They probably weren't even breaking through the interference of our world cracking apart. It was useless. Fucking useless. What was the point trying to speak to people who wouldn't even lift a finger to help us? Why the hell was I doing this? Something snapped in me, and I slammed the table. I launched all the communication equipment to the ground in a fit of rage. What was the fucking point of this? My outburst hadn't even garnered a disapproving look from my fellow soldiers. I looked around the room and felt a rush of shame. I fled the command bunker and rushed outside. As I ran up the dark corridor, I could feel the tremors of our world's mantle. Even as I ran, I could hear the radio at my side crackle, as some had obviously taken up my post. I knew that there was no point in returning now. My feet launched me faster than I thought I could ever go, and soon enough I found myself in the access tunnels. Rather than despair, my rage flared, as I saw the walls of the tunnel shake, small pieces of rock crumbling as I ran. I kept on running up the tunnel, out of the hardened bunker into the open skies. As I looked up for the light green that had once been our sky, all I could see now was an angry emerald, striped with purple lightning. My feet shattered into 1,000 pieces as I watched the sky burn and the ground under my feet boil. Our world was dying, and no one was doing anything about it. Not my people, not the government, not the fucking GC. Those bastards had left us to die. They had promised they would help us. And now, in our time of need, they had abandoned us. Those bastards. Those fucking bastards. If it was the last thing I did, those GC bastards would hear me. I started cursing at them. Every foul word I knew came spewing out of my mouth. No help would come. I knew it. My people knew it. Why keep up this farce of interstellar cooperation? I would curse those bastards, whether they heard me or not. I yelled and howled at the skies, but only darkness answered. As ash filled my throat, I couldn't continue. I fell to the ground, coughing. My anger had flared in a single instant of incandescent rage. But only indifferent darkness answered. I lay on the ground, tears filling my eyes. Despair was all that there was. Then, it happened. I saw a light. At first I thought it was a trick of the eye. A flicker of incandescent ash passing in front of my eyes. The wet tears that filled my eyes. But then there was another. Then another. Then another. The stars that had been hidden from us for many years lit up again. One by one. They were returning. Brighter. Closer. Bigger. Then it hit me. A star was falling to the ground. Our world was burning. My species dying, and now this. I couldn't muster the energy to be angry, sad, scared, or anything really. I just looked on in apathy as a great ball of fire rushed towards my world, knowing my end was here. But then it stopped, and I had instinctively closed my eyes, tears rolling down my cheeks, and when I opened them again, I realized that what I thought to be a ball of fire had been a ship, its thrusters slowly maneuvering to allow it to land. What? What was happening? My adult brain was having difficulty understanding what was happening. There was a crackle from behind me, and I looked back. The noise was coming from my communicator, where it had apparently fallen to the ground. Hear me. I repeat. Can anyone hear me? I scrambled back to the communicator, and picked it up before stammering, Yes, I hear you. This is First Lance Caltech of the Kenosian people, on the northern continent of Sudja. We have 17,000 civilians that need evacuated here. There must be others, but we have no way to communicate with them. There was a second of delay before the communicator crackled again. We are triangulating your position. Hang tight. We are on our way. I couldn't believe it. We were going to be saved. Before I could think of anything else to say, I stammered, Who are you? There was a crackle of static before the person simply stated, Humans. The voice went on to add, We are going to keep this line open as long as we can so that we can track your location. Don't worry if you hear other voices. We are coordinating with the rest of the fleets. I didn't understand what they meant. Fleets? As in plural? But the GC had refused to help. The humans themselves had refused to help. What was happening? Who were these humans? The humans had said they weren't going to send help. Who were these people? That didn't matter. All that mattered was that help was coming. These humans were coming. My species might survive. For the briefest of moments, I let myself hope. As I listened in, I could hear the voices of hundreds of captains. Interplanetary Federation of the Red Cross Fleet reporting. Red Crescent Society's fleet reporting. Doctors Without Borders fleet reporting. Action Against Hunger fleet reporting. UNHCR fleet reporting. The list went on and on. I didn't know what these words meant, but it didn't matter. Help had come. The humans had come. I let the sounds of human voices fill my ears as tears ran down my cheeks. More and more and more and more. I stood up again for the first time in I don't remember how long, and looked up at the sky in hope. Where there used to be nothing but darkness, now there was light. Thousands of tiny dots of light filling the sky, as it seemed that more were coming. Boy Scouts of America fleet reporting. World Food Program fleet reporting. World Health Organization fleets reporting. UNICEF fleets reporting. Langakana fleet reporting. Americares fleet reporting. Save the Children fleet reporting. Ships were becoming visible in the night sky. Big, blocky grey ships with hundreds of symbols I didn't recognize were coming down from the skies above me. 3, 2, 1, touchdown. This is the Henry Dunant of the Red Crescent Society Fleet. We have touchdown. I repeat, we have touchdown. Location 224 by 652, grid Alpha 4. It took about 10 minutes for them to land in a small field, fighting the heavy winds and ionic storms that were raging around us. Before I knew what I was doing, I launched myself towards the small field. I knew it was about half a kilometer away, and 5 minutes later, and out of breath, I saw them. Hundreds, thousands of people came pouring out of those ships, holding boxes and bags. As I ran, my communicator still in hand, I could hear the humans. Care Interstellar Fleet reporting. Interstellar Rescue Committee Fleet reporting. Interstellar Medical Corps Fleet reporting. Bangladesh Rehabilitation Assistance Committee Fleet reporting. This is the International Caritas Group Fleet reporting. I hadn't realized, but a group of my people seemed to have left the bunkers as well. We looked down at the humans over the crest of that little hill and they saw us. A group of about 10 or so humans detached from the thousands still pouring out of the ships. There must have been over 1,000 ships already on the ground, and as I looked up in the sky, there were thousands more circling the area. This is Sister Mary of the Catholic Relief Services Fleet reporting. This is Imam Mohammed bin Rashid, coordinator of the International Islamic Relief Organization Fleets reporting. Aga Khan Foundation Fleet reporting. This is the Samaritan Purse Fleet reporting. Ships of Mercy Fleet reporting. The group of humans ran up to me, and a woman of about 25 with dark skin and purple hair said, We're here to help evacuate as many Kenosians as we can. We need your people to gather all your belongings and rendezvous here. We'll be loading the women and children first. Do you have any way of communicating with the others? My communicator was still spilling out names that meant nothing to us. Muhammad Daya of the Indonesian Sunni Fleets reporting. This is the Salvation Army reporting. World Central Kitchen reporting. Hebrew Immigrant Aid Society reporting. This is the Jovian Salvation Army reporting. This is the Martian Relief Group reporting. I looked dumbfounded at the small woman who had spoken with such authority. I didn't understand. Who were these people? Why were they here? I looked at her and stammered, Who are you? Girl Scouts of Valley Marinas reporting. The Sulfur Group reporting. The Zakat Group reporting. Habitat for Humanity Group reporting. Earth's Peace Corps Group reporting. Save the Children Group reporting. The woman looked a little taken aback and asked, Didn't you get our transmission? We're humans. We're here to evacuate your people. Evacuate? How? Those ships. There weren't enough. Even though the climatic disasters had claimed more than 80% of my people, there were still millions in the shelters. My mind went to a dark place as it thought of how we would be chosen. Would there be a lottery? A draw? Would families be separated? Then a selfish thought came to mind. Could I get on one of those ships? Oxfam Interplanetary Group reporting. ActionAid Interplanetary Group reporting. The French Volunteers reporting. This is the Tokyo Fire Brigades reporting. Gleaning Network Fleet reporting. Shi Chen-yen of the Buddhist Shi Charity Foundation Fleet reporting. This is Bishop Siegfried Mandwadrawa representing the Holy See of the Vatican and their fleets reporting. With a ball in my throat, I asked, How many can you evacuate? The woman looked increasingly agitated as she snapped, I don't know, as many as we can. Look, we're just the first wave, more are coming. I realized the communicator still in my hand was still listing off human ships. No, not ships. Entire groups. Fleets of human ships were coming to our aid. The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints Fleet from the US reporting. Tirumala Tirumapati Devathanamans fleets from India. Father Gabriel Spinoza, coordinator of the World Vision Fleets reporting. British Disasters Emergency Committee reporting. This is the Commission's Directorate General for European Civil Protection and Humanitarian Aid Operations reporting. I didn't understand what this meant. We had lived with this doom for so long. I had accepted my death and the death of my species. My brain couldn't understand what was happening. Even as I watched, Thousands of humans ushering thousands of my people onto their ships. I looked on, and all my brain could think of was, why? I didn't even realize I had spoken. The woman looked at me and asked, why what? Why? Why are you here? Your government said you humans wouldn't send any help. Why are you here now? I hadn't realized I was shouting, but by the time I had finished asking my questions, I was definitely yelling, who are you people? The woman looked at me and brightly said, we're just people.